This just in, a gorilla at the Cincinnati Zoo had to be put down when a child fell into its enclosure. On a completely unrelated topic, the Phoenix Suns are now on the hunt for a new team mascot. Insert theme song.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true, you're a pal and a confidant. And if you threw a party, invited everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend.
Yeah, I know that was the Golden Girls theme song, but I don't have a theme song for this series yet. Deal with it. Today I thought we would chit-chat about the incident at the Cincinnati Zoo. The death of the gorilla Harambe has sparked a lot of outrage nationwide. Some people are outraged at the zoo, some at the mother of the child who fell into the pit, and some are just using this incident to voice their belief that zoos are in general just evil or wrong. I don't really want to talk about how ethical it is or isn't for us to have zoos in this video. I'm just going to try to stay focused on this particular incident. Here are the details. On Saturday, May 28th around 4 p.m., a 4-year-old child managed to get through multiple barriers and fell or jumped somewhere around 10 to 15 feet into the moat surrounding the gorilla enclosure. Harambe, a 450-pound lowland silverback gorilla, climbed down to the moat to investigate. The interaction with the child varied from gentle to extremely rough. At times it looked like the gorilla was protecting the child, and then at times it looked like he was going to accidentally kill him. The new stimulus to his environment and the screaming of the spectators clearly agitated the gorilla even if he didn't attack the boy. There were 2 other gorillas in the enclosure at the time as well, but they were called inside. Harambe ignored those calls and stayed with the boy. The boy was in the enclosure with Harambe for approximately 10 minutes before the zoo's dangerous animal response team made the decision to shoot and kill Harambe. One thing a lot of people don't realize is that the entire incident didn't happen in the moat. Towards the end of the encounter, the gorilla decided he wanted to take the boy up on land, so he carried him up a ladder, and similar behavior continued on dry land. Video of the gorilla's interaction with the boy in the moat was recorded and released by Kim O'Connor. None of the interaction from land has been made public, if anything was recorded. When this news went public, and even more so when the video went viral, people were outraged. A majority of them were angry at Michelle Gregg, the mother, claiming she should have been watching her child better. There's even a Change.org petition with over 450,000 signatures hoping to get authorities to hold the parents responsible for their lack of supervision and negligence. It also asks authorities to open up an investigation into the home life of the family. Some news sources have already brought up the criminal record of Dion Dickerson, the father of the boy. He has a decade-long record including things like burglary, firearm offenses, drug trafficking, criminal trespassing, disorderly conduct, and kidnapping. Yeah, that's right, kidnapping. At least the mother isn't a teacher or daycare worker. What? An administrator? Really? Well, shit. As someone who has been to the Cincinnati Zoo a dozen times, including the day this happened, I can say that I'm pretty familiar with the barriers between the exhibit and the public. I've also got a teaching degree and spent 10 years working with kids in a daycare or a school setting, so I'm pretty familiar with how sneaky fast kids can be. And I just can't find a way to defend the mother in this case, unfortunately. The barrier at the zoo isn't going to stop someone if they try to get inside, but in my opinion it'll slow a 4-year-old down enough for an attentive parent to stop them easily.
But Spintown, you've never taken your own kids to the zoo. You don't know what it's like watching multiple kids at a time in public.
Fuck you. I've taken dozens of kids to the Cincinnati Zoo at the same time, as well as multiple other field trips over the years. You know how many got into the gorilla exhibit? 0. You know how many people let their kids get into the gorilla exhibit over the entire 38 years of its existence? Just this one. And it's not like the mother wasn't getting major warning signs from her kid either. Witnesses have said they overheard the little boy telling his mom he wanted to go swim with the gorillas. The mom can't claim she didn't hear the kid either because witnesses heard her respond to the kid. It's bad enough this mother wasn't paying close attention to her kid, but even when he tells her, I kind of want to go swim with that big and dangerous gorilla, she still pays no attention. As a daycare administrator and mother of 3, she should have enough experience with kids to know that a 4-year-old doesn't always listen all that well and can find trouble even when he's not looking for it. I don't know exactly how she should be punished, but there's no doubt in my mind that she's 100% responsible for what happened and should be held accountable. Now, to address the people who blame the zoo for being unsafe, accredited zoos in North America are accredited through the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, and the Cincinnati Zoo has been accredited continuously for 25 years now and have received top marks when it comes to visitor and animal safety in the past. You can see in this video that the railing around the exhibit is about waist high on adults. It has wiring below the rail and has about 2 feet of bushes and other plant life between the railing and the giant moat. Could an adult or child get through all this? Sure, adults could easily, and a 4-year-old could with some time, but at some point you have to draw a line and say, that's enough. Do you want the zoos to have 10 feet high electrified fences? What if someone parachutes into the enclosure? Should we keep the animals inside all the time just in case? Parents are responsible for watching their kids all the time in public and not just at the zoo. For instance, you're waiting at the bus stop to put your 6-year-old on the school bus, but you also have your 3-year-old with you while you wait. You don't think anything bad could happen if you get too caught up in a game of Angry Birds while your 3-year-old wanders into the street? Bad things can happen almost anywhere if you don't pay proper attention to your kids. It's the parent's job to assess the situation and determine the danger. The zoo put up reasonable safeguards for the public, but you can't child and stupid-proof everything. As wildlife expert Jeff Corwin said, the zoo is not your babysitter. Now for the people who are blaming the zoo for shooting the gorilla instead of trying another way to get the kid out. These people annoy the fuck out of me because you know damn well that if it was their kid inside the enclosure, they'd have no issue with them shooting the gorilla. Hell, I bet if they fell inside, they'd be whimpering and crying for them to shoot the gorilla as well. But no, these people don't value the life of this 4-year-old as much as they do their own. See why I hate these people? It came down to a human life or the life of a gorilla. Now, it's really unfortunate the zoo is put in this situation, but anyone picking the gorilla over the human is probably one of those stereotypical PETA nut jobs.
But Spin, how do you know the gorilla was going to hurt him? It looked like he was protecting the kid.
Really? Sure, there are clips of the gorilla that make it seem like it's being protective, but it's also very clear that the gorilla is very agitated. The kid could have been killed at any point when he was getting dragged around like that. His head could have went back and hit the concrete floor, he could have hit a log or a rock in the water, or the gorilla could have gotten violent at any moment. Multiple animal experts have been on TV recently explaining how strong these silverback gorillas are. Jack Hanna says he's seen them crush green coconuts with their bare hands. That's I'm fine to I'm dead in the amount of time it takes you to make a fist. The power these animals can generate isn't something you should play around with when a 4-year-old's life is at stake. Even the parts that make it seem like he's being protective could be deceiving. Zookeeper Amanda O'Donoughue, who has worked with gorillas a long time, had this to say about the encounter. I have watched this video over again, and with the silverback's posturing and the tight lips, it's pretty much the stuff of any keeper's nightmares. I keep hearing that the gorilla was trying to protect the boy. I do not find this to be true. Harambe reaches for the boy's hands and arms, but only to position the child better for his own displaying purposes. Males do very elaborate displays when highly agitated, slamming and dragging things about. Typically they would drag large branches, barrels, and heavy-weighted balls around to make as much noise as possible, not in an effort to hurt anyone or anything, but just to intimidate. It was clear to me he was reacting to the screams coming from the gathering crowd. The zoo has people especially trained to deal with situations like this. The team that handled this situation had been training for a deadly incident the week prior, and I think the zookeepers along with the team probably know a little more about the risk involved than people like Kelly Osbourne. It's not exactly in the zoo's best interest to go kill an endangered gorilla, and people who work in zoos generally love and care for animals more so than your average person. Considering all this, I don't know how anyone could think the zoo wanted this to happen or could be blamed for shooting the gorilla.
Why not tranquilize him?
Again, this is an agitated animal able to kill in a single blow, and you want to shoot a dart into him while he's holding a 4-year-old? It's not like the dart hits him and he just falls asleep instantly. It can take 5, 10, 15 minutes to work, and sometimes take more than one dart, all depending on the type of drugs used. If they decide not to kill the gorilla, the same little bitches complaining about the dead gorilla would be complaining that they didn't shoot the gorilla if the boy died. Not to mention the lawsuit I'm sure the piss-poor parents would probably hit the zoo with.
I still think it was cruel and unnecessary. There have been other instances where gorillas didn't hurt children, like the one at Brookfield Zoo in 1996.
Different gorilla, different situation. Jack Hanna, Director Emeritus of the Columbus Zoo, points out the gorilla from that incident was female, not agitated, and raised by people at the Columbus Zoo. Completely different situations, and why you have a trained emergency team there to assess the situation. While I find some of the memes funny coming from the fanatical and retarded animal lovers out there, I think this incident was handled as well as it could have been considering the horrible spot the zoo is in. I put all the blame on the mother, and I support the Cincinnati Zoo and its director Thane Maynard when it comes to how they handled everything during and after the accident. That's it for today's video. You guys seem to like this style of video, so I thought I'd do one that wasn't Minecraft related. I picked this topic because it's a local news story for me and because I was at the zoo the day this happened. I probably won't make this a regular thing, but if you guys want more, I can do them once in a while. Anyways, I'll see you guys on Monday with a brand new Minecraft video. Harambe arrived at the Cincinnati Zoo last year from Gladys Porter Zoo in Brownsville, Texas, where he was cared for by Jerry Stones. He was 17 years old and the zoo was hoping to breed him after he matured.